Living in creation is such an elegant moment because you have to disconnect from everything known, and you have to get so present that time is no longer of the essence. You are in the eternal present moment. This is a flip, because when we're living by our senses in three-dimensional reality, this space-time continuum, there's an infinite amount of space. And with an infinite amount of space, I'm local. I have a body, I'm local in space and time, and then I want to move from here to the door. One point of awareness, Joe Dispenza, my other point of awareness, the door. So in order for me to go from here to the door, I got to move my body through space, and guess what? That takes time. So if I'm creating matter to matter, here's me, Joe Dispenza, where's my dream? Way over there. Why is it way over there? Because my brain is automatically estimating how long I'm going to have to work and go back and forth to work, and it's going to take time, and it's going to take energy to finally manifest that home or that car or whatever, and you're going to have to work hard, or you're going to rush faster to get it done, and when you finally pay off that house or whatever, you're too tired, too exhausted to enjoy it. When you pass through the eye of the needle into the quantum, and you enter that realm of time-space, it's a different world. There's an infinite amount of time. Time is eternal. There's an infinite amount. Now think about this. How much could we get done if we had an infinite amount of time? And in the realm of time-space, there's no past, there is no future. It's all happening now. And so there's no past lives or future lives. They're stacked on top of each other. And as we move through time, as we time travel, we experience dimensions or spaces. And we have all the latent systems in the brain once activated to open the door to that dimension. And it only takes one experience of entering that place that you cannot see the world the same way again. Many times when they gather knowledge and information, the information causes them to become conscious of what they were once unconscious to. And when you have a greater level of consciousness, you see possibilities. And in a sense, you're energized by information. You're enlightened, you're filled with light in some way, and you see possibilities that you haven't seen before. Now, getting beyond the analytical mind is one of the main purposes of meditation. And I can tell you that the analytical mind is always going to talk us out of possibility because it is fascinated on trying to predict what's going to happen next. So if you can predict your future, then you're laying a known on an unknown. And this is a habit we have because the brain is an anticipation machine. So there's many different obstacles and resistances that come with a persistent disbelief that has been programmed over and over again. I mean, I don't watch television, but I've watched it because of what's happening in the world. And I am so insulted by television commercials. I can't believe people would sit there and allow that information to program them, some drug to make them feel a certain way, some look, some whatever. You don't think that has profound effects on programming a person into limitation? When I wrote the book, You Are the Placebo, I was so angry at myself for 2 weeks. I was so frustrated with myself because I bought the program. People believe they need a flu shot because they don't believe their body's innate capacity to heal. 4 days of teaching people how to elevate their state increased immunoglobulin A in our research by 50%. Immunoglobulin A is your body's primary defense against bacteria and viruses. It's better than the flu shot. It's better than a flu shot. But that's not the information that people get. So there's a layer of programming that's happening. And the beauty behind all of this is nobody's buying information any longer. I love it. And I'm not prone to believe that guy in that tube telling me the way it is, and nobody should. And more people then, as they start to wake up to information, there's a change in energy. Because change in consciousness requires a change in energy. And now, a greater energy causes systems that were once stable to become unstable, to become chaotic. And chaos is just unpredictable order. It's novelty, it's newness, it's an unraveling of systems. So hang on. This is a really profound time because it's got to break. And when it breaks, something better come out of it. And it's not going to be governments and politicians and religious figures and whatever leading the way. There is no one leader. Everybody's got to lead. Just like those birds that move in one direction, or those fish that are all in a school and they're moving together to give the appearance of something bigger to predators. You study that principle in biology. It's called emergence. You think that there's one leader that everybody's following. Everybody's leading. And there's a stigma we have in our minds that if you lead with too much passion in your life, you're going to lose your life. Whether you're Martin Luther King or William Wallace or Joan of Arc or Abraham Lincoln, you're going to get it. And that stigma is branded in people's minds for a reason. But this is a time in history to not die for the truth. This is a time in history to live for the truth. And if you're working on your anger and frustration, and I'm working on my fear and anxiety and my judgment, and I'm taking care of me, and you emerge in that heart of yours, and I emerge in that heart, we are going to be like-minded. We're going to be connected by that invisible field. And if all of your attention is on matter, then energy doesn't exist from you, and you will feel separate from the field. You will live in lack, and you will say, I feel empty, and I need that thing to make me feel better. And once I get that thing, I'm going to experience the emotion of it, and when I get it, then it's going to make me feel better. But when the novelty wears off, here comes the emptiness again. So then you say, I'm in lack again. I need one of those. So then you got to go to work, and you got to drag your body through space. And when you drag your body through space, you experience time. So then you got to go back and forth to work to make the money to pay for the thing that's going to fulfill some lack. But it never does. And people then, all of a sudden, after 30 years, they have their car, they have their house, they have their relationship, and they're too exhausted to enjoy it. And that's called normal. But would you agree with me then? If you're waking up in the morning, and you're not being defined by some vision of the future, and your biology is in your past, and you get up and start your day, when you see the same people and you go to the same places and you do the exact same thing and you see the same object in your life, it's your environment that's influencing how you think and feel. And you will be thinking and feeling in the past because your biology's in the past. So if you see the same people and you go to the same places and you do the exact same thing at the exact same time, you would have to agree with me then that your personality is no longer creating your personality. Your personal reality is creating your personality. Your environment is controlling how you think and feel. As long as you're reacting equal to your environment, you should create more of the same environment. And there should be a nice biological dance, a perfect match between your neurocircuitry, your chemistry, your genes, your hormones, with what's going on in your life. There's a tango going on between your inner world and your outer world. So then, your environment is actually controlling you. You're a victim to the circumstances in your life. And you see the person, you unconsciously react. You go to the certain place and you think about in the past how it was. And so then, if how you think and how you feel creates your state of being, and you keep thinking the same thought that keeps producing the same emotion, that same emotion is influencing how you're thinking, you're hardwiring your brain and conditioning your body emotionally into the past. And if you do that enough times, thinking and feeling in the same way, the body becomes the mind of that emotion. Now the servant has become the master, and the body's running the show. So then if the body then has become the mind of that emotion, then to change then would be becoming greater than your body. And if your environment has that much influence on how you're thinking and feeling, then to change then is to be greater than your environment. If you're waking up every single morning, coming back to your senses, looking at the person next to you saying, oh my God, who is that? How did I get here? Jeez. Wait, let me think of all my problems. Okay, I'm starting to feel like myself. Let me get my cell phone. Let me check. Okay, now I'm feeling like myself. And then you get up and you go through the same routine behaviors in your habitat. You have the vision of the toilet, and the next thing you know, you're in front of the toilet. And while you're on the toilet, you have the vision of the coffee maker, and there you are, you're in front of the coffee maker. And then while you're drinking your coffee, you have the vision of the shower, and there you are in the shower. And while you're in the shower, you get super creative about the clothes you're going to wear, and next thing you know, you're dressed. And your body is always following your mind, but it's following it to the known. And let's just say you drive to work the same way and see the same people and go to the same grocery store and buy the same food and watch the ssame television shows, and then you get in front of the mirror at night and you put your lotions and potions and creams on and floss the same way and brush your teeth, and you go to bed and you wake up in the morning and you're doing the same exact thing. Would you agree then we can take your past and lift it up and set it on your future? That's karma. That's it. That's karma right there. And so then if you've done that enough times, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through frequent repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times, your body now knows how to do it.